everyone, and welcome to another Daramouthe, or DaraChat. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, you know how bad it is day to day when I start late, which is very rare, but it happens. Um, so that's my fault. Obviously, as you all know, I do work a full time job, and once in a blue moon, I do lay down my head to rest, and I tend to forget. So that's my bad. And I apologize for that. I try not to let that happen, but when it does, I apologize immensely. So, but I am here. I am alive. I know some people are like, oh no, he probably tripped over something and had a head issue. No, I just closed my eyes for a moment, and an hour passed by. That's how it goes. So, but anyway, it is my fault, but I'm glad to be here. And of course, I get to be here with the one and only We Are the Show, which is a name to be had for a guest because it usually, when you say We Are the Show, that's sort of like a phrase, a turn of phrase, but not a username. So, but anyway, how are you, good sir? Sorry about
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. You can't ever sleep though on the internet. The internet demands burnout and meltdown. You have to just constantly go.
that.
The internet gods require it. It's the
Yeah.
sacrifice we just have to make.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like trying. It's like the old days in the Aztecs. Forget about the blood and heart sacrifice. No, it's sleep. Um.
All of your time are belong to us now.
Yes, the good.
So,
And that is so
yeah.
old too. Your base belongs to us. That is such an old mistake in the old computer days. But how are you doing today, good sir? I
I'm
hope I
doing all
didn't.
right.
I hope I didn't off put too much again. Life goes on as it does.
No, it's
Blood
it's fine.
first.
I didn't know we were going incognito tonight though.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, it's I
Yeah.
usually wear
Now
it
we'll
because
match.
well, when I had first started out, I actually didn't have a hat. I had glasses, but it didn't have a hat. And so I actually got this done at a mall that's near me, and it cost like $50 to do the hat. So yes, it's probably one of the most expensive. Well, no, my microphone and my uh camera are probably the most expensive pieces, but it did cost me a bit to have this. So, um,
It's a nice
but
hat.
oh well, thank you. Yeah, it's
Would
not
have
like
thought it was a MAGA hat actually, but no, a
well,
Daramouthe hat.
I have had
Ollie,
that. I have had that where someone says, "Well, it looks like a MAGA hat." It's like, no, no, it's just white. White was the only color that looked well with red, so I'm not gonna
just
like,
get attacked by some loon from
oh.
behind, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, 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 it's just my name. It's just my name. It's all right.
Look, the lettering. Look at the lettering. Oh, oh, I am so sorry. My spleen. Yeah, that's one of those things where like, yeah, I remember someone had said that to me. He's like, no, no, no. It just worked. It was the color. I know there's probably like red and black or different colors that work, but white is what just worked. And yeah, so I can't. I think it was around 50. No, I think it was around $50 when I took it to get it in, get it done. Because it's like, oh, can you just like do like this and this? Because they always charge you like per letter or per the hat or whatever. And you never think the hat would be the most expensive part, but I think it was the lettering that was a bit more. But that was a long time ago. I don't even know if I still have the receipt anymore. I'd be like, okay, so how much did it cost? So, but anyway, but yeah, but thank you for joining me, good sir. I know it's been quite a while. It was probably been a month ago when I had asked for you to come on. No, I actually think it was more than that, but I think it was a month ago when we reconfirmed. Cause I had stopped by your show. That's right. I had stopped by your show and like, hey, is this the time and stuff? I'm like, yeah, that's the time. And unfortunately, I was the one who goofed it up. So look, no one has to
All
worry about.
good.
Yeah, no one has to worry about the guests being, too anxious or whatever. Like I've had a few people, but no, but it is my fault this time. So there you go. If it was yellow, then you'd have looked like you worked at my. That is true. That is actually very true. Unfortunately, I would not be saying, "Can I take your order on that regard?" It would actually be, do you?
I'll do the whole look. Now they won't be able to tell us apart. My God, which one's which? Who is
Yeah.
who?
Uh, hey, Joe Q. I hope you're doing well. Yes, of course. Well, I mean, you didn't have to say yourself, Brittany, but there have been a few people that are anxious. Some people don't show their face, which is fine as well. Um, but yeah, you never know. You never know.
Oh, that'd be a
There you
whole
go.
other mess.
And of course, you've gotten a compliment for your hat right there. For your
It's just
hat.
it's a little hard to breathe in here, and it's a little warm. So
Oh
maybe they'll
yeah,
bring back the plague, though. I hear that they're trying to. I hear that
I
it's
did
making
see
a
that.
comeback over there in California.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to my $35 purchase paying off yet again.
And it's like, give sweet copyright, please give me the money. Royalties,
Like,
here I come.
COVID's over. What am I going to do with that thing? They need to bring back the plague.
you
Then
you
I
just
could be a
show up at a
doctor. Trust the science. I got a
yeah.
stethoscope and everything.
Oh
It's a
really?
full, yeah, it's a whole outfit. It'll
Now
be
see
awesome.
there for those who don't know, there is a thing called SCP, which is sort of like safety, safe, contain, protect. It's an old. I don't want to say it's like a creepy pasta sort of thing, but it's a thing online where people have actually, you know what? I think I can actually show what SCP means because it's been a thing it's been around for a long time where they've donated stories and whatnot about certain creatures, but there was let's see. I'm trying to find. There was one about the Doctor Who. Uh, well, there's no search bar. Well, that's helpful. Um, 518. Nope, I don't want that. Let's see. I am trying to find the one about yours because the one about I think it's like SCP-34, something like 43. Um, oh, SCP Plague Doctor. That's the one. Cause it's been around for a long time. Doctor. There we go. SCP 049. Here we go. Um, uh, that must protect you from ideological plague. That is true. That is very true. But here you go. So there is a thing called SCP, and one of the creatures out of this whole thing is called SCP-049, and it does have sort of like that plague doctor sort of thing. And I believe it is that if it touches you, it gets you sick or something like that. But it does wear that face face mask, but it's more of like it's actually part of the person rather than not at all.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, yeah.
What's that
It's
from? Is that's
it's called SCP or oh gosh, what is it? Safe, Contain, Protect. It's a series that's been around for so long, but people actually donate stories or creatures to this whole sort of deal because it's been around for I don't know how long to be honest. There's one about a statue that if you don't look at it can kill you. You know, sort of like the what is it? Sort of like the weeping angels from Doctor Who, where if you look at them, they are solid stone, but when you look away, they will, you know, they will come after you and they'll kill you. That sort of stuff. There's a whole bunch of them, but one of them is SCP-049, and yeah,
you know the origins of the plague doctor mask, right? Like when
it's
the
a
plague was going through Europe, they
Spanish
had
flu, I think it was right.
I think for the Black Death, but they
Oh
had
yeah, Black.
they would fill it up with flowers because they thought that the scent of death is what would transfer the
Yes.
plague.
Mm.
And so the whole nose part would be filled with flowers.
Oh yeah.
Probably pretty useless overall. Probably it's just like your plague doctors dying left and right. But
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing of it too is that there was a show called Ghost Adventures, where they like Zach Baggins and all them. They went to an actual place that was in Spain, and they had brought one of the masks with them because it was during that time period of the Black Plague, and so they'd use that as a type of item that would get a reaction or something like that. It was a long time ago. It shows you how old I am. Um, but yeah, it was what was it? It's just one of those things where, yeah, it was during that time period where stuff like that happened, but it's crazy how it's still, even today, like I remember seeing that a trigger object, yeah. as a trigger object for like the ghosts and stuff. But yeah, even now I remember seeing that news piece where it was like you said in California where someone was like the plague is back or something like that. But then again, they've
Mhm.
had stories of like um not bubonic, but like certain other things too that were coming. Smallpox. I remember hearing smallpox coming across the border. All that stuff. It's
I
just
I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the wide open border that was left. I'm sure it had nothing to do with that. It's probably just RFK getting everybody to be hesitant to take their plague vaccines. That's probably what it was.
well, and it's like that too. Is like I mean, I remember they would talk about how smallpox was like completely obliterated because of the vaccine and stuff, and then they're like, "Oh no, smallpox has made a comeback." I'm like, "Well, it wasn't so obliterated now, was it?" Is it's not so obliterated, and, to hear them talk about those things, and then you hear later that, "Oh, it's making a comeback." Yeah, I mean, like you said, the bubonic plague and then the black plague and all this stuff, they're not really gone per se. Usually takes, like, one person, then you're like, "Oh, snap. It's back." Oh, goodness.
What is
But
this? Oh,
yeah.
I could share this. Hold on a second. I could share this.
Oh, sure, sure. Give me one
Thank you.
second.
I
There you
share the
go.
thing. So that's what I got my plague mask for that photo. It
Yeah.
says the science on the bottle of whiskey, and
Nice.
that was my COVID photo shoot that I did. There were a few others in there that well, let me see. I don't know if it's gonna yeah, it's not gonna just jump over
Yeah.
to the next thing. I have to do a separate share,
Yeah.
but let's see if we can get that to do a window share. There's that one, which isn't
Oh,
as modified. But yeah, did a whole photo shoot for it
wow.
for our plague times.
Nice. How long
Then
ago
another
was
where
that?
I'm in a straight jacket and I have all this toilet paper hanging around me, and like
Wow.
I have 2 cans of Lysol.
Oh, goodness.
That was fun. Big smiley face drawn on the mask. I don't know where those photos are though. I can't just dig those up on the fly.
Yeah,
But
I remember when during I think it was COVID was starting when everyone was going crazy for, like, not having enough toilet paper, and I was like, "Oh, come on."
yeah, we were well stocked beforehand. I was definitely prepared for those times.
Nothing else matters, the food doesn't matter, the water doesn't matter, no, god dang toilet paper is the end all be all for the end
I was
times.
flaunting my accidental preparedness with my Lysol having and my toilet paper possessions.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Brittany is like, "Oh, remember when you couldn't get antibacterial?" Yeah, the whole, hand sanitizer stuff too was, like,
yeah, the
crazy.
Lysol shelves would be empty.
Mhm.
Nobody was had stock of that. Everyone was just huffing Lysol in their car. It's good times.
It's sort of like the kids would huff the Knox. I think that was what it was called, the Knoxing of cans or whatever, and then you
Yeah.
have people later on just huffing Lysols. It was to save their life, but it really wasn't because it was chemicals themselves. So, really, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was one of those times where I think people didn't understand, like, if you do the basic wash your hands and all this stuff, I think you'll be fine. Just, don't go kissing sick people. It's really the one one thing you don't want to be doing. I can just see someone doing it there. Okay, we're here, everyone. I have a
Mhm.
I have a family member, and they're sick, and I've been dared to hug them. Pray for me. That's the real fear factor right there. Forget the snakes and eating the cockroaches. Giving a hug to a sick person, that's the real. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was not a fun time. But it did kind of show you um how fragile our system is on like the our delivery system, our chain of stuff like the grocery stores or whatnot. And I think that's one thing people keep forgetting nowadays too, even now that they keep forgetting that even our system is still as fragile as it was
Oh, it
then.
showed me how people will just fall in line. Whatever the people on the TV say, that is gospel, that is truth, and we will do whatever it takes.
Well, not only that, but
And
uh,
demonize our fellow man if they think any differently than us. So it was pretty eye-opening,
yeah,
actually,
that.
in a
Yeah.
scary way.
Oh yeah. Well, that too, and on a governmental scale, because um, I was at least for a month I was furloughed because of it came down to only essential people could be working. You know, hospital, EMT, people, you know, where I worked, it was a car dealership, and I was in the car wash bay, get the car wash, all this stuff. We were deemed non-essential, but the people who would change the oil and whatnot, those people were deemed essential. So it really is one of those things where a lot of people kind of lost their time, either their job for a little while or their job at all. And while it was great to get that kind of big bit of benefit from the what was it, from the unemployment, the issue of it was that it wasn't going to last forever. It never was. And so I was glad when it got done and over with. But there were a lot of people who were hoping to pray that that COVID payout would last them quite some time, but it was not going to last forever, unfortunately. So
Yeah, the shutdown was terrible, especially because I'm in entertainment aside from it, and live events and photography and videography, and
mhm.
I had a full calendar for the summer that year, and just cancellation after cancellation. Then when finally work started picking back up, then people would cancel last minute and be like, "Oh, well, we had a COVID outbreak here, or we had this happen here," and it was just a nightmare. It was really bad. And then my agent ended up dying, so I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, well, that's great."
oh, that's awful. Sorry to hear that.
One of them found it. Yeah, found another agent. He wasn't as good, so kind of just been doing things on my own
Yeah,
since.
yeah, it kind of. I think at a certain point, and that's been sort of the thing with um like seeing out there was people joining groups or something like that for um this whole streaming ordeal or whatever. And while there are some probably good ones out there per se, I don't think um in essence it's good to join a group per se in that regard, because I know it can get messy, like the financials and all that. Because joining a group on one hand can get you into those places, right? Can get you those deals and all that stuff. But the problem of it is on the other side too is that you're not free to kind of
I
do
wasn't
that.
streaming or anything. This was just like, entertainment work
Mm,
outside of the internet. I wasn't even on the internet. I had never done a live show. I started 2 years ago doing the live shows
okay.
over here. I wanted
Yeah.
to wanted to talk shit about politics, get some things off my mind, and
Yeah.
so just worked out.
Yeah. And two years later, you're still talking crap about.
Yep. Every Sunday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will patronize the establishment. And,
Throw hot water on it and see what happens.
yeah, it just
Um,
seems to get crazier and crazier.
yeah, I kind of get that. It's why I'm not too fanciful on the politics itself, because it does kind of get into this mindset where um it is the tribalism team sort of thing, like any football team or sports team or whatever, where one team is better than the other, but they're really not. And I think with even in this day and age, people still get caught up in that stuff. And politics in itself is just it's humanity, but it really is its own detriment, because what really has been solved with politics.
A
I'm not
lot.
seeing it.
We seem to be listing in the correct direction right now. We seem to be doing a little bit better than we were doing under the potato, I would say. To say that it would be exactly the same, like, oh no, one is not clearly better than the other. Nah, I'm thinking one is. One is currently, at least. It'd be better if we had more than one, if we had more choices than just two, but at the
Mhm.
same time, all you get to do is steer the ship in one direction or another.
Mm,
And
yeah.
things are supposed to move slowly by design.
Mm.
But
For
yeah.
the
But as for being on a team, yeah, I'm on Team America. I'm on the home team. I happen to live here, so I'm not hoping for like economic collapse or anything like that. I'm not hoping for us to have the downfall of society, uproot the system completely and just fall into chaos. Hunt the last stray cat with your neighbor for food. No, I'm not trying to get there.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
and yeah, and I don't think many people want to, but it is that sort of thing where, um, while there are many complaints that are valid on like the government and all that stuff, if people really want change, then they've really gotta do something about it instead of because voting doesn't really seem to be moving in the direction that you keep hearing almost every year about, oh, this is better, oh, that is better, or so forth and so on. And that's where I've just been,
Absolutely.
um, on that point of politics really doesn't
You're
tip.
not a black pill doomer, are you? Over here.
No, no, it's just a look at the world itself because again, you have a lot of people who complain about one way or another, and to do anything is, rules and whatnot, and obviously, again, the tribalism and so forth. But it's sort of the thing where it doesn't seem like anyone's taken a back seat a bit and just asked themselves, is this really the way to go about it or not? Because again, you do fall back on your it's this team or that team scenario, which I mean that's humanity in its own right. Any government, right? Any country, any government, that sort of stuff. It's just for at least for and speaking of America, um, you don't want okay, so you don't want income taxes. Okay, so what are you gonna do about it? Oh, we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. Okay. You do that and then you keep getting wiped out by cheaters of the system. Okay, what then do you do about it? And so forth and so on. It's
The
like,
tariff thing seems to be a good idea. I mean, it's even a tax that you could opt out of. You could be like, you know what? I'm just not going to buy foreign products anymore. Or I'm going to try to limit it as much as I possibly can because, of course, not everything is made in America anymore,
mm,
unfortunately.
no,
But it does seem like a more like fair, like it's like consumption tax, like you pay your sales tax and stuff like that, but you only
mm,
pay that on items that you buy. So
mm,
if you're growing your own food, you're not really paying a sales tax on that. So moving more towards a consumption tax type model
mm,
would be more fair. The rich people would pay more by dint of the fact that they're spending more money. They're buying their boats, they're buying
mm,
their, cars and stuff like that. The only
right,
thing that sucks is we're $37 trillion in debt. So it's like, are they ever going to actually eliminate a tax because they created a new one? Is the real question on
yeah,
all of that. But it would seem a more fair system is consumption based, sort of like how vice taxes were the original taxes. Oh well,
mm,
we have these problems with people get drunk and they end up getting into fights and they end up stabbing each other in the streets and all kinds of societal problems come from it, and so we're going to put an extra tax on the alcohol,
yeah,
and to kind of offset that. And then it just turned into, oh well, we'll do a temporary income tax. The income tax wasn't supposed to be a permanent thing.
yeah.
but
Wasn't, and
but
yet,
yeah, I do try to fight for America. I feel like we're in a unique position where we're at the forefront of freedom. We ended up having this unique experiment in human freedom, as it were, over here,
mm,
where the serfs even the serfs get a voice over here.
yeah,
Even the serfs can be armed. You're not a subject, definitely. You can defend your own life in most places in America. You're still
yeah,
allowed to defend your own life. You don't have a problem where a woman pepper sprays her rapist and she gets charged too with assault, like you have over in Canada, or that
mm.
one lady over in the UK or Scotland or whatever. They're being chased down by a migrant and she pulls out weapons. All of a sudden
Oh, yeah,
everybody knows. Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows, but a lot of people have seen the photos on the Twitter of
mm,
this girl. She ends up
yeah,
getting, you know oh, two wrongs don't make a right. No, no, that lady wouldn't have pulled out those weapons if she didn't feel uncomfortable, and she's like 12. So I'm pretty sure that if you're an adult and you're being an adult and a 12-year-old's backing up with weapons drawn, you're the problem. So,
Yeah,
but
and
but yeah,
you can obviously see from uh, what we have versus what other countries have, at least in the rule wise, how important it is because pretty much other systems out there are parliamentary based. You know, Canada's parliamentary based, the UK is parliamentary based. Pretty much almost all of the EU, and to some regard, is parliamentary based. Um, Although I think like South much of like the South part, South America and all that stuff is presidential based. I don't know if there's a term for that beyond, but you do see what not having the ability to freedom of speak as part of the rules, or the allowance to own a weapon to protect yourself part of rules. You know, out there in the world, like Australia is another good one,
yeah,
where I've had a gentleman on from Australia where, you know, I asked him like, what, you know, can you open a weapon in Australia, or whatnot, and he was like, well, you can open a weapon, but it's very hard to very hard to own it because they make you go through so many roads to get there that it's some people just don't even do it. Um, or you can go to stuff like the UK where, as we're seeing with stuff now, that a lot of people aren't. There's not much of a freedom of speech or anything like that because it's under the old premise of parliamentary and monarchy, which seems like be like a dying thing at this point in day and age. But here we are.
yeah.
But yeah, it is wide and varied, but again, if people want change in the government, then they kind of have to step up to do so. Otherwise, it's really just talk at the end of the day, to be honest.
It's all very fragile, and you know,
Life is,
and
yep.
you got to fight for it. You got to teach people the underpinnings, why things are important. People haven't been taught. It's not like you get taught in school why, you know, the Second Amendment's important or why the First Amendment's important. People think that the First Amendment's some kind of right to exchange pleasantries, and it's like, no, it's supposed to be for rude speech. It's supposed to be for being pretty frank and honest about your ideas, whether or not that offends somebody,
Mhm.
because offense is always taken and never given.
Yeah, no,
And so,
and it's always interesting. Well, even then, I had a lady on who is a, you know, she does streaming and playing games stuff too, but she's a lawyer actually in real life as a job, and we had come to that point where even free speech isn't really free speech because depending on where you're at, the state and or city or whatever the rules and that, free speech varies between different areas, and so you could, you know, government point here, free speech could differ, public here, free speech could differ. It differs on a lot of different areas.
it's an imaginary line when invaders are running across it in mass, then it's an
Mhm,
imaginary line. But
mhm.
if you have a carry permit, it's not an imaginary line when you cross into one of them blue states.
Mhm.
No, that's a real hard line, and we have different laws here than we have in the rest of the country, and
Yeah,
you're going to jail forever.
yeah.
So,
It's very I don't want to say limited, but it is very that's right, temperamental. It's really temperamental depending on the place of where you're at because you could say go to somewhere like California where they could get you for whatever at this point, to be honest, or Oregon or like Portland or whatever they can get you for whatever. It's very temperamental, and I think people like we were speaking earlier don't understand how temperamental it is, how fragile it is, regardless. And yeah, again, it's a freedom, it's a freedom worth fighting for, but it's hard to see how many people are fighting for it when they're fighting amongst themselves,
mm.
if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but
There's always gonna be infighting. There's always gonna
yeah,
be.
yeah. But for the other stuff, like I know you talked about like your videographer, you're also a few other things too, and I'm just like for doing this, since you said you did it like 2 years ago, what the other things that you do, like
I
what are
did
your
sideshow performances for about 16 years. I was with a
wow.
group called the Amazing Traveling Circus Sideshow,
Oh.
and it was actually me and another guy. I was the producer and built
Oh.
things, and so did he, and we worked it together mostly, and then we would hire on other performers.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that went well for about 16 years. I just started rebuilding the show recently, so I have
Mhm.
some so I'm hoping to be able to work that more.
Yeah.
And it was good. We did the, freaks, wonders, and curiosities, sword swallowing, fire eating, bed of nails, ladder of swords. We had belly dancers. We had
Ooh.
snake charmers. It was a good time. It was definitely something unique and different and old school Americana live entertainment. Things that
Yeah.
people don't usually come across anymore.
Yeah.
But we even had, like, the cabinet of curiosities with the shrunken head and the, mummified head, six-fingered hand, different,
Wow.
pickled punks. We had the whole thing, and it was self-contained, so we could just, we would do private events, birthday
Nice.
parties, weddings, whatever people wanted to hire us for. We'd show up
Wow.
with a tent and set it up and bring our own sound and everything, and then do, like, show.
Nice. It's the most, like a old-timey circus right there. All the tricks and trinkets you could ever want. Step right up. All right, step right up. Right over here. 5 cents a pop. Come on in.
Yeah, I have one of our banners back there
Wow.
from one of the shows that we did. Our sword swallowing skeleton. Uh,
Wow. Amazing traveling circus. Wow, not bad. Yeah, it's not I the circus still is a thing, like, but I think, it's not as much as it used to be. Like, I remember what Barnum and Bailey was sort of like the biggest thing, oldest circus I think it was out there, and then they shut down, like, I think during the COVID times, I think is when they shut down. No, I think it was before then.
there's very few actually traveling. I think World of Wonders might still travel as
Mm,
as the sideshow. Then
interesting.
there's Coney Island still has their thing going on there, but they got weird.
Yeah.
But but
Don't go there, man. You're gonna be freaked out.
a lot of our
That's
props actually ended up there. A lot of the things that
really
I built, yeah,
wow.
ended
That's
up at
amazing.
Coney Island ultimately.
So, well, at least you know that your stuff is not lost for good. So there's
Yeah,
that.
it'll still get worked,
Yeah.
you know?
So, but I mean, for the past 2 years, I mean, you've been enjoying doing what you've been doing. Has it been keeping you from wanting to go back to like working for any of those big places and all that stuff?
I still do my work,
Okay.
I still I still occasionally the phone still rings. Do a lot of, still walking and, I have a big wheel bicycle, I got a penny farthing, and so I
What?
try to book that out as much as I can, and the videography and photography,
Oh
which
yeah.
I actually really liked because it was a chance to get behind the camera, instead of
Yeah.
being in front of it. It was a little bit different
Yeah. Yeah.
and put things together.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine, especially since like majority of the time, they hire photographers for like weddings and stuff or special events or whatever. So I can I can tell you this. When you're not like a photographer, but when you're uh a sibling of someone who's getting married, um, those are always fun times to deal with.
Yeah.
I I one of my siblings, was getting married during the summer, and it was, June, July, or something like that, I can't remember, and they did this weird thing where they put, like, the wrong date or wrong month or whatever it was, because like, some superstition or whatnot. I can't remember what it was about, but they did it, they had the wedding inside. No, they had the wedding outside, and then they had the reception outside too. and it was at some barn or something like that. Not like a farm barn, but it was sort of close, like a loft kind of barn thing. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so humid outside. It was horrendous. It was horrible. And obviously my sibling was a bit of a, they were nervous and all that stuff. They wanted to make sure everything went well. They spent a lot of money and all that. But trying to deal with someone who's very uptight for that period of time was not a fun time. Was
Yeah, you're
not
kind
fun.
of at the mercy of the weather of the day that you planned, you know?
Ugh. Yeah, and then
Sometimes you luck out and sometimes you just don't.
oh yeah, that not only that, but the individual themselves, and it was not a fun time. Um, but it was it for because I've had I only have two siblings that are married, and one of them had the total of outside. It was so humid, so hot. We were basically sweating to death. It got better during the nighttime, but it was not. So, but yeah, it was not a day. And then another one got uh married outside as well, but then the reception moved into sort of like a church building and eating in there and whatnot. So it was nice, but yeah, I when they say bridezilla, I think I have a bit of an idea of what they mean. I I'm like,
Oh, yeah, if
"Please,
the
Lord."
bride ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Oh, Lord. Especially when your family's trying to help and all of a sudden you're like, "Nope, out of the way." I'm like, "Okay, I think I'm done for the day." I don't want anything to do with this, Lord. Lord, please help me with this. Um, but yeah, it's not fun. And look, I get it. There's anxieties and stuff with stuff like that, especially when you're planning a party. Oh, good lord, I can't imagine what's like planning for a kid's birthday party. It's no, not as fun as well. Um, but yeah, the uh, the videography and photography stuff. I can't imagine that there have been times where you've come across something like, okay, I guess I'm gonna take a break.
Mm.
That's crazy,
We try
but
to keep busy. Usually you get your breaks, you know, you'll schedule out things. You don't want to take over the whole event. You want to give people time to do their mingling and talking and stuff like that, but you have to get your photos. Everybody needs to have certain photos. If you don't get every single one on the checklist, then
yeah,
someone's going to be upset, someone's going to be mad. So
yeah,
you just try to power through those and then let people go. Let people go and party because that's what they really came there for. And you come
yeah,
to be posed by you the entire night.
yeah. And I used to work for I don't I'm not gonna say the place, but I used to work for um like an inn near a college, well, basically a college town, but and the point was is they'd have this building where they'd have set up many different parties or events or whatever, weddings to business meal sort of things and all that stuff. And weddings would be a whole another story in themselves. So what the inn would be is that if you were to get their presidential suite, right, you'd get like some extra time. And those aren't cheap by any measure, but these people could afford it. Like there was one time where uh this wedding had like this event crew come in and set up. It was like this whole Scottish type of like wedding thing where they had these tables and then they had like this like faux made fireplace, and at one point they had this like huge statue of just uh armor, like old medieval armor just up there, and I'm like, these people have money. Um but you'd have to set up for the stuff. And I tell you what, weddings, you bring alcohol into weddings, dear lord, do people go crazy. Oh my gosh. It is no. No, no. Mm-mm. Oh my goodness. It
Oh yeah,
was
definitely try to get as many pictures done before people start drinking. Like, oh, why is my nose red in every picture? I don't know. Why is your nose red in every picture?
someone liked the schnapps a little too much, so goodness sake. But yeah, it was not fun. There was actually one time where um the inn for their events, whatever, gotten these tables, and there were just these like not wire frames, but so like these metal frames, and at the very top would be this very heavy plate of glass. Like it was no joke. It'd be very difficult. You'd have to do like a few people to move it off its thing. I think it was during one wedding, I can't remember. Someone must have gotten drunk enough to break one of those, and I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me about this." Luckily, no one got really seriously hurt because I mean, you break one of those, you probably cut slicing yourself up pretty good, but yeah, someone had broken the very top of these things, and they were massive, and I'm like, "Oh, man." What alcohol does to people, good lord. But yeah, it no, those are not fun times. There was one point where we had to it was on a Saturday. No, yes, it was on a Saturday. No, Friday. It was a Friday late. The wedding got over like 1, even though they're supposed to be done like 12:30 a.m. or whatever, but they never get done on time. Because they allow these people to go on longer or whatever. And we were taking down once they got done, we were taking down, and by the time we were setting, because we had to take down and set up all within the same day. So when we had done that, by the time we were done, it was probably almost 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I and I was doing it for like $10 an hour.
Well, then you appreciated the extra hours. There you go. You can always gotta look on the bright side.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the bright side was that this inn, they'd have like an employee eating area, and sometimes you'd get some of the food that was left over from certain events. So there was that kind of bright side, but I mean, gaining weight and all that stuff, really not. I don't know. There's trades off. There are trades off for this stuff. But yeah, it was no. I'm glad I don't do it anymore. There's some jobs I'm glad I don't do anymore because of just yeah, and, okay, I've done pizza delivery, I've done custodial work. Look, people are downright dirty, okay? I'm just gonna say that wrong. Women are much dirtier than men, all right? That is a truth because I had to deal with it.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that.
I can because
I'm
I
not
have
saying it's not
experience.
true, I'm just saying that you're not supposed to say it.
I'll say what I want. No.
No,
But
anyone
yeah.
who's had to clean out both bathrooms would know.
Oh, yeah. At one point, I had to be there early because we didn't really have a female, staff member to clean. We just, at a certain point, we just didn't have those people. And so I had to be in, say, a few hours before they open. So, because they'd open like 5:30, so I needed to be out there a few hours earlier to clean the women's locker room, which took some time to do. And man, women were a lot dirtier. They were. I'm just not gonna lie about that. Um, but yeah, it's an experience when you're someone custodial or janitorial, whichever one you want to use, because you can use either or, right?
Mm.
But you kind of see it from that angle. You can kind of see how people are. Like another story is I was cleaning restrooms at one point. I know I put a sign up that's saying restroom closed, don't come in, all that stuff. I cannot tell you how many times I would have that sign up there and there'd be someone coming in the restroom saying, "Oh, I thought this restroom was open."
No, when you gotta go, you gotta go. They're hoping they can just walk by the sign. Nope, I didn't see that. I don't know English. No English.
There's a sign right there. Read for once.
I don't know, man. If I gotta go, I'm running right past your sign. Your sign ain't stopping me. You being in there ain't stopping me. No.
Oh man. Yeah, it really showed me that there are people who can read, but they don't. And that's why I've sort of done like this whole some people are just illiterate literates. Which is a conundrum in itself, to be honest. But I mean, uh, but I mean,
You don't do it
for
with the glasses? I mean, you got the aviators, so you just
oh
walk
no,
in, tapping a cane around. Like,
no, no, no. Yeah,
I didn't even see your sign. I didn't even see your sign.
No, no, no. Yeah, I didn't start doing this whole uh content creation thing till like middle of 2023, to be honest. So you have more, you well 2 years, yeah. So you probably started a lot
About the
earlier than
same.
I did. Yeah, I started May of 2023. Um, but I was doing more of like recorded video, pre-recorded video, and then uploading that. Because back in the day, at least during that time on Rumble, you had to have at least 5 followers in order um to stream. You could already stream on YouTube, no doubt, but you couldn't stream on Rumble without having that 5 followers. And I was like, whatever. So just uploaded pre-recorded videos. But then after a certain point, I paid for their pro plan, like their big, $10 pro plan, which is now Rumble Premium. Funny enough, um, and just went from there. But yeah, it's been a long time doing this, but I enjoy it, and all this stuff. I mean, for you, uh, how I mean, do you still get up, enjoy this thing every day, or is it sort of like 50-50?
It's a thing. It's a thing. I don't hate it. It's definitely been pretty good. I have a good audience that shows up and they're partying it up and they give the energy to keep it going.
Yeah,
And so usually the chat's pretty active and we have a good time going through the news.
yeah.
And so sometimes it just goes way too long. Like my last one was like 10 and a half hours long. And I thought I had cut it back like quite a bit before I started. But
Mm,
when the sun's coming up when you're done, it's like, oh man, I should have cut more out of this, or I should have, trimmed this down a little bit.
yeah,
But it is what it is. I've got to figure out a way to make the show tighter every time.
because you're
But
just
we do
basically
a lot of fun bits in it.
right. So you're just doing the news of the day, right? Talking about the what's going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually just catch up, but since I only do it twice a week and I cover like almost every story that's like a major story, it ends
Yeah.
up going long. So usually we'll do like the regular news and then I'll go into politics and then clown world at the end, which is just all the craziest stories of the week.
Yeah, trying to cut all that since you only do like 2 days, trying to cut that down. Yeah, that's rough. That is real rough, especially with all the stuff you want to talk about. Yeah, that's why when I started doing this thing, I didn't well, when I figured out what I wanted to do, let me just start that. When I figured out what I wanted to do with this thing, after experimenting a bit, I really didn't want to be like the news of the day because there's already a lot of people that do that, right? They every day there's a news piece. Um, oh, there we go. Look at that, Miss Sarge. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Love Dean and his deaning. You're now a verb. That's when you know you made it. It's when your name is now a verb. Oh my goodness. But but yeah, I just there are a lot of people. I mean, when I was just a consumer of content, you would I would just watch people. They talk about the news of the day almost every day and all that stuff, and I'm just like, I can't do this. It's too constricting. You have to keep up with what's going on and all that stuff. So I really don't do that. But I know a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
limits your. I mean, it limits your growth. You're choosing a niche. You're
yeah,
usually picking, between one side or another on any kind of issue, and then it becomes divisive, and people
yeah,
are like, you know, and so it's not as universally accepted. Like I couldn't. I see that you have the YouTube going, right?
mm,
Like I,
mhm,
I would not be able to do it on YouTube. I would get the channel banned immediately, and I'm not going to tell you why because I don't want to get your channel banned on on YouTube.
that's fine.
But
You know where you are. Oh, look at that. Oh, you are Dean. Uh-oh, getting in trouble. But no, I get that. Like for me, I just I've said COVID and a bunch of other stuff. I've even had a few people drop Game Awards, even though I said no, don't. But I mean, for me, it's like I don't. That's why I'm on multiple platforms because I don't. I don't believe in being on one platform only, and the reason of that is what YouTube, like the many people who are just on YouTube, right? we've already seen what happens when you're like if you're just someone who's just on YouTube. We've already seen what happens, right?
I've had
YouTube.
problems on YouTube just uploading standalone videos where I have
Mm,
the rights to all the content. I'll use like a friend's music from their band, and then all of a sudden, like CD Baby will get in touch and be like, "Oh, well, we're doing a copyright strike," and it's like, I have permission, written permission to use this song. Like, you can't, and YouTube's automated system. I've been hit by YouTube's automated system using things from their own content library. Using
wow.
things from, the in the YouTube studio where you can
Yeah.
go into the audio library.
Yep.
There have been people who have copyright claimed those tracks that are inside there. They and I'm like, I got this from your library. Like, and when by the time they work it all out, the video's already had all the views that it was going to have. So it's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and another thing too is that they do kind of shadow ban stuff because there's been shorts just on the shorts alone, right? That I've put up like you'd get no views at all. You could get your own view on it, but you couldn't get anyone else seeing it. And there is that part too with it. It's kind of, but I mean, again, YouTube has been sort of like the canary in the coal mine, where being on one platform has been even Twitch has had its own issues, where being on one platform has shown not to be a great idea because one it limits your ability to be seen, but also it also limits you to that platform having that much power over you, right? Like if you're just on YouTube, YouTube has all the power, all your stuff is under their jurisdiction, and then that's it. It's you do one wrong thing by YouTube, done, out.
Yeah.
And it's YouTube's mystical algorithm. Well, it's mystical, all right.
Yeah, I
But
think about that a lot, seeing as how I'm just on Rumble. So I'm
mhm,
like, as long as Rumble's going in a good direction, that's good. But if it ever, if it ever turns it around, then
yeah,
it should have diversified.
yeah.
but but
I
a lot
and
of platforms will take the kind of content that I do, and so it is what it is currently.
well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I guess there are other ones.
yeah, BitChute, Odyssey, other ones than just YouTube and Twitch or Kick. I don't know, but what I mean, other than YouTube and Rumble, what other ones have you tried? If you
That's it.
have. Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Really. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I just can't do it because I've seen too much. Um, and again, you have even with Rumble, you still have people who have to do sort of like the YouTube route, where they have to go to Twitter X to get something resolved. And sometimes they get it resolved, which is great, but they're still doing the old method of they have to go to a third party site in order to get something resolved, which should just be resolved through their own system, but sometimes it doesn't.
You could
And
bug the help email, the support email enough. You could
yeah.
just email them every single day or every every hour. They'll respond. They will.
Yeah. How did we get 100 emails from the same person? What the
Yeah.
hell is that? Oh, it's that thing guy. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but for me, that shouldn't be the way. It really is. It really is the time of the many platforms that are going on to the thing of with like crypto and all that stuff coming up and blockchain and all those kind of websites.
Well, that sounds exciting, though. The crypto wallet. That sounds exciting. Like, yeah, send me a Bitcoin. Definitely. What's the
Yeah,
price of Bitcoin right now?
probably still
Solve some
over.
serious problems.
Yeah, probably still over 100,000, I think. But I think um
It's
I
crazy.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's
my
insane.
thing, my issue too with crypto is that there's a lot of people that still don't know how this thing works. It's not an easy thing to get right. You have to have a wallet. You have to do all this stuff, and if you're bringing people into
Oh
it,
yeah, and
and
there's a lot of scams. A
oh
lot
yeah,
of scams.
oh yeah,
And I think they actually need to pass some kind of legislation for fraud. Like, if your crypto coin does not do what the white paper said it was going to do, if you
mhm.
guys aren't holding as long as you said in your white paper, then it's fraud and should be prosecuted as such. because you see all these people use their big audiences to release a meme coin. They'll
Yeah.
release a white paper and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, we're going to hold on to it for 3 years. We're just going to add liquidity to it. We're not going to touch it. Don't worry. And then all
Mm.
of a sudden, just before you're able to sell, everybody sells, and people lose their life savings and stuff because they trusted someone. That's what happened with the Hawk Tua girl, the Hawk Tua
Yeah.
coin. Nobody, nobody, nobody signed up for that. If they read the white paper, it probably did not say, oh, we're going to rug you as soon as we possibly can. We're going to pull all the liquidity out of this and leave you holding the bag. And so it's fraud. It's just a new form of fraud, and
Yeah.
it should probably be regulated as such.
Yeah, well,
But
and don't forget there was a whole thing with Logan Paul too, right? He would try to get he was still streaming and stuff at the time before he went the whole WWE or wrestling thing, whatever. And he would try to sell this meme coin or whatever it was, and then that whole spiel took over. And then yeah, like Brittany brought up the NFTs, the whole monkey NFT thing, right? You remember all those monkey different things?
yeah,
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of out there, and I think again people have a right to be very hesitant of jumping into that sort of crypto stuff because again, there are scammers out there who do try to use crypto in order to get their process done. Like, there's a channel out there called Payback Scammers or Scammer Payback, sorry, and these people, majority of scams come from India. Can you believe that? Majority.
no. That's racist. I can't believe that.
But it's true. But yeah, just watching their show and stuff. It shows like these people will use gift cards, they'll use Bitcoin, all that stuff, and
Yeah,
it
I think
goes
I've
to
seen that guy before. I
yeah,
also like CoffeeZilla. He's really good at exposing different crypto scams and stuff like that.
yeah. I've heard the name before, but I don't think I've watched his stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's a very scary time, especially when you have people trying to scam you out of their uh you know roof and home. Basically, it was from uh scammer payback. There was a story of there was an elderly gentleman in his 70s, and I believe his wife had just passed a few years before this whole incident took place. But I think the incident was about um, either like a Microsoft issue or some other issue that the scam was trying to do, and the scammers eventually got like 70K of his stuff. Yeah, and, of course, uh, s Scammer Payback, they do have a fund where they try to help people like that. Maybe they'll not get the whole ordeal, but they do try to help people who get scammed. But yeah, it's 70K, older gentleman. There were some things they couldn't touch because it was all put in some other thing. But yeah, the stories are horrendous. And the whole thing, and right, coming back to like the H-1B stuff and all that, I was like, why would you wanna have people come from a country where there's mostly scammers?
So you could prosecute them. So you can actually prosecute them when they scam. You actually get some kind of just bring them over so that way they're here when they commit the crime. Because when they're over there and they commit the crime, they just get away with it.
Yeah. Well,
No,
yeah,
it's not a good idea. Just leave them where they are.
yeah, the government, the Indian government is so corrupt they allow it to continue, even though they have their own cybersecurity over there. Kit Boga, your twin. I've seen Kit Boga's work. He's all right, but he's not my twin. I had that one put to me too many times. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I get it, Kit Boga.
Let's see
Okay.
what's a kit bogo.
Kit Boga is sort of the same thing with
Oh,
Scammer
he's got the
Payback.
aviators. I think that's the person who I thought you were talking about because yeah,
Yeah,
a
the
friend who showed
pierogi.
me that channel.
Pierogi is his group is the Scammer Payback, and he usually has different color hair at different times, but he and his group try to do like all this different stuff, try to catch the scammers. But Kit Boga is the one who's tried to make sort of like this sort of like AI chatbot to where they'll take dozens and dozens of calls and all this stuff from like publishing scams, OS scams, gift cards, get the whole shebang. It is horrendous when you learn about this stuff of how many scams are out there. It
Yeah.
is horrendous.
I
Oh
have
my,
a I have a sounder for it though.
You are not getting money back. Get out of my way. I
yeah.
have to scam more people. Thank you.
It's pretty
It's
much
for when rants come in.
yeah, or the whole do not redeem. That I've heard that one's another one too is do not redeem. But yeah, it is a sad fate. And like again, when they were talking, yeah, the elderly, yeah, exactly with the elderly man. Those people are, but not every person who's elderly gets scammed. There have been young people too, but yeah, it's awful. But anyway, it is the top of the hour. It's a little past the top of the hour, so I apologize. But it is the top of the hour, and so what happens is that I I set aside some time for me and my guest. Sometimes they are not a creator, so they really don't have anything to promote. But for you, uh, I have set aside some time for us to promote our stuff. So if you'd like to promote your things wherever you're at and all that, the floor is yours, good sir.
Yeah, I'm right here on We Are the Show on Rumble, and I stream Thursdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on out, check it out. It'll be a good time. Hashtag no promises. I also have a gaming channel too, but I'm
Oh,
never
really?
on it. But
Oh,
you could follow it in the hopes that I go back. We used to do the Rumble Fight Club over there,
oh,
and it was a good time. And we used to do all just fighting games because that was the original competitive game. And
yeah,
so trying to bring it back, it doesn't really have the audience that it does on other platforms over here, but we hoped to build it. And occasionally we do get together. Occasionally we bring the band back together.
nice. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Like, what was the last fighting game you played?
I played Guilty Gear Strive over on Dionysus's channel not too long ago. I just kind of railroaded him. He was playing something else, and I hopped into his chat, and I was like, "Let's fight, let's go." Uh,
Your butt is mine. Um,
yeah, play with Fused and Fused Aegis and Oh Hi Mark. And
oh,
we used to
nice.
do it once a week, but it just got to be too much.
Yeah,
So
especially since like I think there's like the whole Halo thing going on out there now. I know that's a big thing that people are doing is the Halo thing or um, some other ones. But yeah, again, his link is down below on both Rumble and YouTube because those are the places I stream. So you can find that there, and it holds all his stuff, his Rumble, his X, all that stuff. You want to see what else he's up to? It's right there, and thank you for that. Um, but for mind things, whether you're on the Rumble side or the YouTube side, because I do stream to both, um, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. Let's just be honest about that. A lot of content creators want to be seen, but it also helps in having other people on, like We Are the Show, like Brittany, like Alaska Man Jeff, like so many other people, like over 250 different people I've had on. It's a lot. It's a lot. I had to do the count recently, so it was a bit of a doozy. So yeah, it's man. But
crazy.
oh yeah, but I appreciate them all, including yourself, good sir. But yes, any help with the engagement on either end is much appreciated. And of course, I gotta go back. I gotta do all the stuff. Um, me time to follow the things are well, look at that. There you go. I'm glad there was a silver lining in all of that because I didn't feel it. I did not feel a silver lining in that. But anyway, but anyway,
All
here's
good.
my link tree. You can go there. My Twitter X, my email. I have a link to Discord, but it's mostly just for DMing. I just don't have enough mental bandwidth to do a whole server and stuff. I know some people do it, but it is what it is. But all my stuff is there. And if you want to see where else I'm at, um, and all that stuff. Uh, but yeah, yeah. I don't. I know a lot of people do that whole Discord stuff, but man, oh man, I've seen some of these content creators when they do like this whole like media kit thing. No, no, I
Yeah, no,
can't.
I just use it for voice. If we're playing a game, we could go into the voice chat.
Oh yeah,
And then usually somebody else has another voice chat and I'll just go in there. So it's really just pointless, my Discord.
yeah. It really is. It really is one of those things. Unfortunately, but yeah, because again, I work a full time job too, so there's only so much bandwidth of your life you can really give to things, and I'm just here to enjoy this thing. I'm not here to, I'm grateful for all who follow, but I'm not here to try to be like pushing the milestones and whatnot. Um, but also the last thing I do now, obviously, until the end of the month, I am still part of Rumble's creator program. But however, I'm walking away from that. So there's that. But a while back, Proton was promoting their partner program. And so I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. So why not just try to go for it? I didn't think I'd get in, to be honest. So I did all the stuff. I filled out all the things they required and whatnot. And then maybe 24 to 36 hours later, they're like, you're in. And I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I'm like, okay, now what do I do with this? Um,
Proton's pretty cool. Offers a lot for free. I mean, if
yeah,
you
yeah,
need a VPN for free, you ain't getting it anywhere else. A
yeah.
good one, anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they're always improving their stuff, obviously. But this one, I was promoting the Proton Mail a while back, but this one I'm promoting their Proton Pass, and Proton Pass is Proton's password manager. For those who don't know, but I use all their Proton stuff on the daily. Proton Pass is one of them, which is really nice because you're gonna forget your passwords. After a certain point, there's a lot of places you're gonna forget your passwords, and it's great to have a place where you can have it all in one and all that stuff. And while Proton Pass isn't free, the link you can go to the link and it does give a discount of sort. I think like half off or whatever. Um, Now they did a while back for the program. They did just uh make an offer for using their Proton Unlimited, which is what I actually have, which allows me to use all the different Proton stuff like Proton Mail, VPN, all that. It's a they're sweet. And but for this one, Proton Pass, it has integrated to 2FA. It allows the use of their alias email. So if people don't know what that is, the alias email is sort of like an in between your actual email and the company you use that alias for. Um, and what that means is like you can use this for, say you're signing up for like Planet Fitness or something like that. I don't know, some dumb thing, and all of a sudden the company is spamming you, is doing all this stuff. You don't want it. Well, the great thing about it is that you can just turn that off or delete it, and you won't get any more emails for them because all they have is that alias email, and you just won't get anything anymore. And that's one great thing about that. But again, you can go to that link below. You can check it out for yourself. Yes, I can make money off it, but really, I'm just doing this to promote a benefit because I see it as a benefit. I use it every day, and if it isn't for you, that's great. That's fine. It is what it is. But if it is for you, at least you have something to look at and say, "This may work for me." That sort of thing. So but yeah, starting next month, I have to get in. I'm gonna get a link that does the uh, whole suite thing, so that way people can just, if they want to get the whole ordeal, because there's a lot of great stuff they do, like you said. I think the Proton VPN and Proton Mail are the free ones, and those are great to have regardless, because like the Proton Mail is great for spam. It's great for, again, using the alias email. It's great for a bunch of things. But yeah, oh goodness. I have AOL and I have iCloud. Oh my gosh. Proton Mail
You have
blasts away.
AOL. You got dial up over there?
No.
Does it still make the noise? Still make the noise when you connect? What
No.
year is it? Did I step in a time machine? What's going on?
Well, the one thing with it is that there are a lot of accounts connected to it, and I don't know what's connected to it. So it's sort of like keeping it just in case because you don't want to get rid of it, and all of a sudden you can't get to the place you were going to. So it's like
Yeah.
so it's like one of those things. So I've gotta take a time to just kind of go out and find what accounts are connected to it because I'm pretty sure there's a few left, but yeah, it was a long, long time ago, and now it's just a spam collector basically at this point. It's like collecting the dust. It's ugly, very ugly. But you know what? Proton mail is great for that sort of thing. And believe you and me, yes, there is some spam that breaks through once in a blue moon. But you know what? They'll let you know. Is it about phishing? Is it about not something not working right? Pure Time will let you know, and that's what I enjoy about it. So I try to promote it as a benefit, because I don't care beyond that. Dean, hey, look, hey, NDO, look at that. Hey, Neuro, how you doing? Neuro is
Good to see you.
Neuro is well known across the interwebs on Rumble. That is for certain. Uh,
Mod extraordinaire.
Mod extraordinaire. Someone needs to give him a title like that. Mod extraordinaire. That is Neural right there. he he once he once showed me all the tabs he have open. I'm like, dude, you need a break. I, I just saw this I just saw this picture of tab after tab open. I'm like, I don't know. I can't do this. I don't want to. No, Lord. Um, because I have tabs open too. Like I have the stream for Rumble open, and I have the stream for YouTube open because sometimes Rumble Studio, for what it's worth, it still has its issues, and sometimes the chat won't appear or something will goof up. Yeah, it's not
It's been
pretty.
a while since I used Rumble Studio. I'm glad to see that you could shut off the audio stuff or you could turn it on, like the noise canceling and stuff like that. Because that
Yeah.
was a big problem with it originally, and
Mm.
they actually did build in the controls so that way you could take care of that.
Yeah.
The last time I tried it though, I ended up with a 7-minute delay on my stream between me and chat, and I was like, "This is just unacceptable. I can't do this." But
Yeah.
I know that it's been making improvements. Maybe one day I'll go back and try it again.
Well, the side that's been making improvements has been the direct RTMP side um because that's where the gaming and stuff is all that I know, and that gets like the clarity of all that. But for the canvas sides, which is this side right here, it really hasn't gotten very many updates for, which has been the sad part. Because right now there's still some basic functionalities of Rumble Studio that are missing that even their competitors have, and they don't.
Yeah.
And
A lot of their competitors charge though, to be fair. Like
yeah, for
it's
multi
like they offer a lot for free over here.
Yeah, they do, and they don't charge anything for multi streaming, but the issue of it is that, um, even for the free ones where you have the watermark and stuff, right, they still allow you to do a few things like your guests can chat out from inside StreamYard, or you could still have a form of camera layout that you can manually control or whatnot. And Rumble Studio really doesn't have those things, which is unfortunate. And those have been things been asked for quite some time. Um, so while there have been improvements made, and they do offer some things free like multi-streaming, the problem of it is though is that compared to its competitors that has out there, even for the free stuff, it is still a bit behind, and you know, and especially with I've heard like for the even for the direct RTMP, people are still having issues like um, they have crashes or like connection between OBS and Rumble Studio. Something happens. It really still is a a work in progress. So it is something. Oh,
Hey,
and
Siren
oh,
Pickle, how's it going?
Siren Pickle. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for coming. Oh, look, hey Jacob, how are you doing? Savages. That's right, savages. Not like the savages from Pocahontas, but we're almost there. Um, but yeah, so I mean, you've been on Rumble for quite a bit and all that stuff. So what has been um your experience in the use of been for you?
It's been pretty good. It's definitely improved a lot since when I first started streaming. But
Mhm.
occasionally you'll have I'll be in the middle of a news article and all of a sudden people will be like, oh, it's rubber banding or it's repeating. And all of a sudden the connection's down and I got to refresh. It's not all the time, but when it happens, it's super frustrating. But I mean, it is much improved from when I first started over here. And I'm guessing it will only get better with time, hopefully, fingers crossed on all of that. They definitely seem to. They gave us back the banana. I mean, what more can we ask for? The banana is in the chat again. They had taken it away when they put in all the Bitcoin emotes, which they haven't released wallet. So I'm not sure why they did the Bitcoin emotes. I'm guessing that they do all these things so that way we have just enough to talk about. If it didn't have any problems, we'd have nothing to fill the dead air with. So, so now we can, and some people make it their entire career to just bitch about the problems that they see. So then they'll bitch on Twitter and on Rumble and everything.
Right. And I kind of, there are people who are, actual complainers, all that stuff. But I do
Whole channels dedicated to it. And,
right.
I'm not that much of a hater. I actually, I like it overall. I mean, or I wouldn't be here.
Right.
And,
but overall, there are people who have great concerns, and it is a sad inference when people just call them straight up complainers, because there are a lot of people who want to see this platform succeed, myself including. But when an honest conversation needs to be had about the platform, it really feels like people are just like, "Look, you're using a platform, all this stuff. Get over
yeah,
it."
there are people who are a little harsh on any criticism. They'll just attack the critic, and it's like, no, this person's actually not able to connect. So maybe reach out to them, see if you could help them solve their problem, because it's just a question.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that, Dean.
But yeah, they usually they're open to feedback over at Rumble as long as it's constructive. It seems it would seem. But I've had my complaints about the service, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great thing. Obviously a platform doesn't grow if it can't have honest feedback. But even then, like for a while now, I've been doing this thing where Dean's Raccoon. Oh, okay, I know who that is. Dean's Raccoon. Okay, Neural, I know it's you. I was like, wait a second, who's this Dean's Raccoon that has modding powers? Like, nope, that's Neural.
Well, the with the creator program, right? I was actually trying to see, when Rumble Studio would work for me. I was going to try to, get up the hours or whatever and do the program, because I was in the last program. I was in the
Partner
the
program.
small, yeah. And they kept adding things, and then they added the deal breaker, which was that you had to do the ads. And I was like, if I don't use the product, I'm not going to do an ad for the product. Like, even if it's the 1775 coffee, like, I haven't tried it, so I don't know if it's any good. So I'm not going to say to everybody, oh, go out and get this. And, I'm kind of ad hostile to begin with. I'm the person who's going to tell you to go to a thrift store and buy it used, like, I'm going to be like, save yourself some money. You can get this same exact thing. This was the earlier model. It does the same thing. It's only like a tenth of the cost.
Yeah.
And so those are my honest recommendations to people. I don't buy a lot. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't throw money around like that. But at the same time, like, I could say, well, I'll just do the ads for Rumble Premium because I use Rumble Premium. But then is it always going to feed you the ad for Rumble Premium? And is everybody just going to do the same ad over and over again? And I was like, you know what? I have the issues with the studio. I haven't been able to get it to work right for me for a full stream ever. And so, and then with the ad requirement and everything, maybe it's just not for me. And it's fine. Like, for anyone who's in it, I'm not going to knock anyone's hustle. Do what you got to do. In fact, I will hop into your chat and demand ads. I'll be like, read me an ad. Please read me an ad. I want an ad. So that way they don't feel so awkward, just getting it out. And, so I don't knock anybody else's hustle or whatever, but it's just not for me. The current version of the partner program. Maybe they'll open one that is more, to my style or whatever.
Yeah. It's it's definitely a work in progress, but even for me, uh, like the premium only streams were kind of pushing it. Because then it didn't become about creating what I wanted to do. It became about creating just to keep being part of the program. And so the premium only streams were pushing it, but I was able to do them just fine. But then it became, first off, the new requirement for the ads poorly communicated. Wasn't not no, it wasn't even communicated at all, to be honest, by Rumble. And so that was kind of red flag number one. Red flag number 2 was is that it was a mandatory thing that you had to read 5 ads for the month, which is fine, you can do an ad for the month, but it's sort of like, I'm doing this thing that I enjoy doing, but now I'm required to do something that's taking me far beyond the grain of what I'm doing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense to keep continuing with it because sure, you can get something extra at the end of the month, but is it really worth it to do the thing you enjoy doing? I mean, there's that dichotomy there. And so I'm just like, I don't need to do this anymore because it's a bonus at the end of the day. It is not the end all be all. I am not living off any of this. I'm appreciative of it, but I'm not living off of it. So I'm not going to force myself to do something that's just going to go against the grain of what I do. And I enjoy doing this, enjoy getting to meet people like yourself and Brittany and so many other people at the end of the day. Why would I continue doing something that's just going to be a burden than a benefit?
Yeah.
So
Well, actually, there is some positive in that the premium streams that they do show that they listen to feedback because people were like, "Hey, my subscribers can't watch these premium feeds." You
mhm,
know, if I do a premium stream and somebody has subscribed to my channel, they're locked out unless they have premium. And they did actually change that. They made it so that way if people are subscribed, they can go in and they can watch the premium as well. So
right.
it does show that they do listen to some feedback, but yeah,
That
overall the the ad part wasn't really for me either.
yeah. Well, and even then, even with the direct RTMP, they're still having issues with like some getting approved, not getting approved, all that stuff. And it's just a mess. But no, that took Silver Fox doing that of getting the channel subs to be a thing that could see the premium. Just for that content creator though, not for all of them, but just for that content creator. If you were signed up to their
Yeah.
channel monthly, you can see their premium. But it took a
Yeah, it was a
content.
valid complaint though. You know, people are
Yeah.
like, "Hey, people are sub to my channel and I'm locking the door on them like for a couple hours a week."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and it was a shame that it took to that point to get there, because it was discussed. There was a previous time where it was discussed before that too, and that was brought up as well, and nothing was done about it. Um, but it took someone like Silver
You
Fox to
gotta get
make
the
it make a
monkeys on typewriters behind the scenes.
yeah,
That's the I don't know how long it takes to implement anything that we say. Like,
yeah. Well,
I've been
that's true.
asked
Uh,
I've been asking for a separate payment processor forever, but I guess I'm just shouting into the wind. Maybe one day. They had mentioned that they might implement Stripe, but I think that was about 9 months ago, and then I never talked about it again.
Stripe, yeah, they did mention Stripe, and that was like it's an ETA, and then you're right, they never mentioned it again, but it's important. Things happen, things change that we don't get to be privy of, and that's understandable. But for me, that's where this whole beautiful thing called communication comes into factor, right? Because again, the big thing that was missed by Rumble was communicating of the new requirement. August 1st, there was a new requirement. Nothing was said, nothing was talked about even before
Did you
then.
get an email?
No, there was no email before that came out. Nothing. It was just you woke up on the first, I think it was like a Thursday or Friday, whatever. You went to look at your creator dashboard on the new day of the month, and all of a sudden you're seeing this new requirement that wait a second, did they mention something like this? And no. So it's one of those things where I think I I've always stated and will always state I will praise Rumble when it does well, but I will admonish it when it does poorly, and that was poor. It was just bad, and that does not bring people over. That does not give favorable light, um, and it shuts down conversation. We have a bunch of people trying to say, "Oh, they'll get to it. They'll get better." No. I'm sorry. Um, Improving means to learn from your mistakes and going from there. But I'm not sure if they have or not. So, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So,
I have a presentation to present because we
sure,
were
go ahead.
asked about it inside. We were asked about it inside the chat, and so
Sure.
figure maybe I could bring something up. Let's see.
Oh, I see the raccoons.
Share some of my
Aw,
porch coons.
feeding
But yeah,
these little.
I I save them for the breaks sometimes. When they're eating, I can't pet them, but before they start eating,
Okay.
these are probably Rocky's kids because there's four of them. The mom's not there, but
Uh-huh.
there's another mom who is limpy. She has three legs.
Mhm,
Well, one's an injured paw,
mhm.
and she has three kits, and they all come around sometimes all at the same time. Most of the time, they'll come in shifts to come and
Wow.
hang out. And so I play them during my breaks. I'll
Aw,
usually go out a couple times a week and just record some of the activities. And and yeah, so it's something that I could play during my breaks that's original content. So that way people aren't bored while I'm outside having a cigarette or whatever,
nice.
relieving myself.
Yeah, there's actually another gentleman I had on. His name is, it was like Darth Vader dad or something like that, and he does videos like this too, where he puts out kibble or whatever it is, for raccoons, and he has a bunch coming up to his, front porch and all that stuff. And now you just feed him like dog kibble, right?
They actually cat food. These
Really?
guys. Yes, occasionally I'll give them a banana or
Oh,
hot dogs, but
wow.
uh but yeah, just Friskies mostly.
Huh.
Friskies and peanuts. They like the
Mhm.
peanuts.
Oh, wow.
Make a mess out of my porch with the peanuts. But they're very playful. They get into everything. They broke my ashtray, which is
Oh,
unfortunate because I still haven't replaced it yet.
ugh,
But that was
that
yeah, my
sucks.
share.
Well, that's pretty awesome, though. I mean, one thing is always like with wildlife, you always have to be careful of like the ones that could be rabbit or whatever. But I mean, how long you been like doing that sort of thing, like feeding them on the front
I
porch?
I mean, since I mean regularly with the kits since they started coming around, but I've been friends of this family of raccoons as it were for like years.
Wow.
Like I remember Rocky when she was just a kid and her parents were really skittish and I befriended her. And
Mm,
then she started coming around more last year.
mm,
And then she disappeared for a little while. And when she came back, she had the four kits with her. And she was
mm,
like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my friend." And then Limpy found us from just the interactions on the porch. Another raccoon comes by, "Hey, what you guys up to?" And so
mm,
she brought her kits around. I actually had thought that Limpy was a male,
mm.
and then she had kits, and the males usually just disappear after the litter is made.
Yeah. Opossums like cat food too. Uh, we have roaming armadillo digging up our yard. Wow. Oh, that's not bad. He's a raccoon whisperer. We are the show. The raccoon whisperer. This time on We Are the Show. I see these hold on. I've got these raccoons over here, and I'm gonna try to speak magic words to them. There they are. They're doing a trapeze move right there.
They do that. They hang out. Like here's
Oh,
oh
give me 1 second.
it's-
There you go. Oh, look at that. And just hanging out on your stuff and all that.
yeah.
Well, it's pretty
They
cool. Well,
they usually trash the place before the morning though. It's fine.
come on, guys! Every time, every time. Oh man. Oh goodness, that's pretty awesome though. But yeah, they just a bunch of rascals is what it looks like. Because I do know there are people out there that do try to have raccoons as pets. I have seen that before. Um, and all that. And yeah, it's just weird. I know because there's raccoons. I've seen people do like skunks for pets. Um, there was funny because there was that. I don't know if you remember. There was that news piece from New York about that guy who had rescued a squirrel,
Oh yeah,
and
and Fred, he had a raccoon as well. He had the raccoon named Fred, and
wow,
Peanut the squirrel.
Peanut the squirrel.
They
Yep.
euthanized both of them. I don't let
Oh
them into the house though. They try. They'll open my door, like my screen door.
yeah.
I'll be like, no, you can't go in.
Hey,
Sorry, that's where
get on here.
the line is.
Yeah. Trash pandas be trashing. That's right. That's right. They do be trashing. But no, that's pretty awesome because again, it's sort of like interacting with wildlife. And do you get anything else other than raccoons? Do you have like other
I have
animals
some
besides bugs?
chickens,
Oh,
which
really?
it's a bad combination to befriend raccoons when you have chickens. So we have to be
Oh,
on the ball when it comes to the chickens. I've lost one. I was streaming.
uh,
I lost track of time, and I was like, oh crap, I got to put the chickens away.
oh
And
no.
so I, went to my weight screen and I went outside and Limpy was inside the coop, dead
Oh,
raccoon right in front of her. Like,
oh.
hey, I did good. I brought you food this time. You like it? Well, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad at
Oh,
me? And then she was all apologetic. There's a window right here. She was outside of the window while I
uh,
was streaming, like looking
uh,
all forlorn. And then when I went outside, she laid down next to me, like, I'm
oh,
sorry. I didn't mean to kill your chicken. So
oh.
it's all right
Still,
though. We got more. We get more chickens. It's fine.
that's true. How long you been doing the chicken thing?
Oh, for a while now, probably like six years. Had
Oh,
the chickens.
awesome. 'Cause I know, I don't know, I do know that certain states, whatever, you have to have, like they require permits or something like that for you to have chickens, or I don't know. I just know that's a certain thing in different areas. But I do know, like, Fragniac Fragniac has his own chicken coop. He's one. Um, there's a gentleman, who I had on, it's called Urban Homestead, who does this sort of thing too, who had chickens as well. Um, they're they are, as far as I know, they're kind of messy creatures, but eggs. I mean, you can get your
Yeah.
eggs. It's pretty noisy as well, but I mean, for what it's worth, I do know that there are some people who uh like sell the eggs as well. Because um, let's see, there was one oh, that's right, and Neuro does too. Neuro does a chicken coop as well. So got 70
Yeah.
to say that's
A
awesome.
lot of people on the Rumble got chickens. Ice Cult's got chickens. He's actually got 4 of my chickens right now. He went and picked them
Oh,
up. Him and his wife.
wow,
They were like,
nice.
"Oh, we're going out to get chickens. Do you want any?" And so we worked it out. I got to go and got to go meet up and pick up the chickens. And I know Gamer Grill and GE have chickens.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Yeah, and Artful Brittany says you have to be zoned specifically to have backyard chickens here. Okay. Wow, that sucks. Oh, because I know you'll have like complaints, especially if you have like a rooster in there with them, just because you want more chickens and stuff.
yeah, roosters get freezer camp. I can't be I can't be dealing with that. Nope.
Yeah, you usually get noise complaints or whatever. So there is that. But I mean, for what it's worth, most people are like, I'd rather have eggs that I can have and all that instead of going to store bought and all that stuff with it. But usually, if somebody sells those eggs, they're usually a bit more expensive than saying store bought, just because the feed and the taking care of where they live and all that, they usually add that into it. Because I've seen like some people would charge up to like $7 for a dozen or something like that. Yeah, it can get pretty pricey from that regard, but that's different
Yeah,
people, different
I
areas.
never sold the eggs. We just eat the eggs, and they live good little chicken lives. Like even though that one fell to the raccoon, had a better life than 98% of the chickens on the planet right now. You
Yeah.
think about all the ones that go through the factory raising. At least they got to wander around a yard. They got
Mhm.
to peck at different things. They get cottage cheese every once in a while. They get different snacks, dried worms and stuff.
There
So
you go.
they get good chicken lives. So when one falls, it's like it's sad, but it's not as sad as it could be.
Yeah, that is true. You can always get. There's always more chickens to get. Now, why cottage cheese though? Is it like a favorite treat for theirs or what?
Oh, it's good for them. It gives them protein, calcium. It's good
Huh,
for their shells.
I didn't know that.
Just vary up their diet. It's just another way that we spoil them before they get murdered by the raccoon family. No.
Yeah.
only the one died to the raccoons, but I had a fox get one, and it left a huge mess. Just left the wings splayed out
Oh.
like it was doing a voodoo ritual or something.
Mm.
Blood everywhere. It was such a mess. The fox was just demonic.
Yeah, that's rough. And Nero says, we don't have a rooster, just the hens. The eggs are so much better. You don't even have to refrigerate them. Yeah, that's true. I've heard that. I actually had funny enough, I actually had duck eggs once too, which are a little bigger than chicken eggs. But I didn't even know you could eat duck eggs. And I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. Um, but yeah, I've had duck eggs, but even buying those, um, like from a store, those are still just as costly. But yeah, I know I have heard stories where people have cooked an ostrich egg though, because that those things are massive. An ostrich egg is like fills both your hands up, and I've heard stories where people do have eaten an ostrich egg, but they only like one egg at a time, and it's a whole nother story right there. But yeah, I do see a time where people who can will probably have more. Quail eggs too. Okay, there are quail eggs too. Don't want to forget those. Um, I think there will be a time though where people will probably do more at home gardening, if or gardening or just having more stuff at home rather than going to a store, just because um, you don't want to be like the grocery store or whatnot, especially if you're far away and all that stuff. But after that whole thing with like the bird flu stuff, right? When remember they were just raising a whole bunch of birds because of the bird flu, or personal farms. Like I remember seeing in the news there was a time where well that Amish farm, right? That Amish farm that they went after a while back. I can't remember the name of it, but there was an Amish farm that went after.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
then there was news of people who would be growing vegetables in their own backyards. The government would just go in and just demolish them, whatever. So you do have that sort of thing where there are people trying to do that stuff more at home, but then you have government going in and ruining that as well. And then you have the whole thing with what was it, eminent domain and all that stuff. And it's a whole mess in its own right there. But
Yep. You gotta fight for the right to grow your own food, even. But
yeah, but it's a
grow
whole
your own
lot
food,
better.
raise your own animals. You gotta make sure, check those things before you move somewhere. Make sure that you check those things. See how free you actually are when you move there. And don't support places that don't support you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Neuro says Viva has a video on his channel preparing an ostrich egg. Holy crap! Wow, that's insane. I gotta look for that. Yo,
I,
what up, Goonie? Sorry.
I'm gonna do a be right back because I
Okay,
gotta
go ahead. Sure. All right. Well, yo, what up, Goonie? How are you doing? Oh, not trying to screw up anymore. It's not a been good start to today, but we're getting to a good part. Hello there, unkempt. But yeah, I just know a lot of people, at least like you was talking about. There's some Rumble people who are doing their own thing with chickens and whatnot. But it's not easy work. But again, if you involve your whole family, you can have something productive out of it, with it, and and all that stuff. And I know there was a website that I had looked up that was mentioned like farming place, whatever, where you could buy. You know how there are places that are um, like a farmer's market and whatnot, where you could go and buy the foods from there or whatever. Um, what is that? There are those 400 ostriches in Canada the government is going to kill. Healthy birds that recover from the bird flu. Yeah, that sucks too. Ability to that haven't been streaming. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. I've been playing. Um, there was actually this new game I bought. It's called what was it? It's called the Another Crab's Treasure that I bought. It's like $30, but it was on sale, and it's sort of like a Souls type game, but I feel it's a lot better than Elden Ring. Let's just be honest. I've played Elden Ring. No, I haven't gone back to it in ages. Um, about 50 chickens on the farm where I work. Eggs sell out fast. Yeah, yeah. Now, what's the price do you have like a price for them? What's the price you guys sell your eggs for? Like for a dozen, I think. Because I'd like to know that. Because there's a place I know where they sell their eggs for like 3.50 a dozen, but some places sell it more. Some people, some do a other. Um, but yeah, Neuro just brought this up. There are 400 ostriches in Canada. The government is going to kill healthy birds that recover from the bird flu. That sucks. That sucks. But that's Canada.
When they kill off birds that recovered, they're getting rid of natural immunity. They're going to make only weak birds in the end, which is it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's not even following the science. It's not even following the biology of it all.
Oh goodness. Oh, $5 a dozen? Well, that's not too bad. That's not too out of the realm of buying a dozen chicken eggs, and then 6 dozen organic duck eggs. Okay, that's not bad. A lot cheaper than when I bought it at a grocery store. So I mean that is a pretty good deal, not to be honest. I also gifted the Shin Chan collection on Steam to Torture Sonia. Hey, you know what? Sometimes she deserves a little torture. Okay, especially from you, Goonie. Um, but yeah, $5 to $6, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But Siren was talking about how they have 50 chickens on the farm where they work and eggs sell out fast. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, there was I can't remember the website, but there was a website mentioned on Twitter X where you could go to like buy you know how they have like farmers market, right? You know, you can go buy fresh vegetables and all this stuff, which is a great thing, right? You know, to have a farmers market, to do that sort of thing, whether it be meats, whether it be cheeses. There's one near me where they do a whole assortment of stuff. Um, but there's this website where you could buy to have delivered, like meats or cheeses or whatnot directly to your house. The farm I found was like in Pennsylvania somewhere, but they do
Mhm.
deliver their products to your home. It's just I don't know what the costs are. 4 to 5 dozen for farm eggs here in New York. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's a bit more reasonable than saying like $7 a dozen. That was too much. Um, but no, I really think
During
though.
that bird flu thing, I mean, it wasn't that weird to see like extra large like the large eggs at the grocery store being like 11 $12, which I had never seen before in my entire life. I was like, "Oh man." But
Mm-mm, nope. But yeah, I do think that'll be if more people do that, especially if they get their own family involved, helping take care of things and whatnot. I think that could be a lot better. But I do like those farmers markets, because they do allow you to go get these fresh fruits and vegetables, stuff that's in season, right? Because not everything can be in season. um, Cheeses, meats like pork and chicken and beef and all that stuff. Like I've been trying to do a little bit more of the carnivore diet. Just trying to get better health and all that stuff. So that's more like eating more protein, like steak or chicken or eggs. Eggs is a good source of protein. Um, it's not always cheap to do, but I do go after cheap cuts of steak, not like prime rib or New York cuts or anything like those things are too expensive for my wallet. I have to pay for a month to come out of my wallet when I don't have enough money. Okay, it's getting a little hard out there. All right. Um, but yeah, I do enjoy that, but I haven't gone to a farmers market in forever. Because at times it does get a bit expensive. But I mean, do you have stuff like that near you, like
oh
farmers
yeah,
market?
we have one that goes on every Wednesday. And so
Really?
we go out there. Yeah. I gotta go this Wednesday. I gotta go tomorrow. I gotta get my ashtray. I gotta get a nice plastic ashtray, not a glass one again. I had a beautiful glass ashtray. They don't care.
Now, have you ever are there like because I know farmers market include just about anything. Like there's art stuff and all that. Do you have like have you ever like the like a handmade ashtray like those clay ones? I don't know if that's the way to call it, but I know that people like do a kiln and all that stuff.
Yeah, I took ceramics class, so I've made quite a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But
Pretty awesome.
but yeah, no, just I don't have a ton of ashtrays. I just had the one really nice cut
Mm,
glass one. It was pretty big,
mm.
and they knocked it over. I heard it go down, and I was like, "Oh man, can't have nice things.
Perfume.
This is why we can't have nice things." Yeah, so I'm just gonna pick up a big plastic one.
Darn you, raccoons!
I'm
Oh
just
my
glad they
god.
didn't hurt themselves when smashing my stuff. It's fine.
Bunch of rowdy kids out here. But no, I did want to ask, like, your hat. Like, where did you get your hat from?
I actually got this from an Etsy seller. She
Really?
makes them. Yeah, so she just takes your size, like you measure around your head, and then she has a couple different styles that she offers.
Mm,
And I asked for this band. I actually have another band. This band has a bunch of skulls
yeah.
on it.
Some
And
studs in it. Yeah.
I'm not seeing where the other band is, but I have another band up there somewhere or over on the other side of the house.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, there were some videos on Twitter X I saw. There was this gentleman who actually does it for a living, and what he does, he has like this thing that you put around the head that does the measurement of the head for the hat, and he does it sort of he makes hats like from the felt or whatever it is, and you can see him like creating the hat, doing all the stuff, kind of because he has to put it in steam or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
and you have
Yeah,
to
I've
do
seen the
this.
process before. Yeah,
Yeah.
for those felt hats, and they also. I used to have a beaver skin top hat, but it ended
Really?
up getting destroyed in a flood. Yeah, it was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's awful. Yeah, you can make
It was
raccoon
nice.
hats.
It was fuzzy.
Yeah, you can also make raccoon hats too, but don't let them know that. Hey, Wicca, how are you? How nice to see you. I hope things are going well where you're at. Um, but yeah, that is pretty hilarious. But yeah, I saw that. That was pretty interesting to see that kind of process because um it's sort of you don't see that process very often. Like again, I bought my hat from a place where they have machines. They do the knitting into the hat and stuff. But to make hats like that, like the big top hats or something like that, it really you really don't see that very much, which is kind of sad in its own right. But I
Yep.
mean,
Not a lot of haberdashers left.
yeah. Oh, to go with the times, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. It's sort of like stone masonry. Stone masonry used to be a big thing, and now it's sort of like, sort of thing. Um, but yeah, but man, talking about those eggs, I really want to get organic eggs now. But anyway, guys, it is almost the top of the hour, and so we're gonna start winding down because I don't again, I do have to go to the work in the morning, and I do have to set up for the stream tomorrow. So I don't try to go for too long. But I do appreciate you all being here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through a whole thing we did earlier at the other hour, where we're promoting our stuff and all that, and then go for a few more things and then we'll end it. So again, sorry about earlier. Yeah, sometimes you just close your eyes and an hour slips past you. So again, apologies for that. But of course, let me find. I know Neural posted. Oh, here we go. So if you want to um, promote yourself again like you did before, however which way you want it, the floor is yours, good sir.
Yeah, every Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a stream here as We Are the Show. We do news, culture, politics, a little bit of humor. We do little skits and stuff. It's a good time. You should come and check it out. And he posted the link, but I'm at The Real Fastness over on Twitter if you want to follow me there. Sometimes I post things over there that are just lost to the algorithm. It's just that is my biggest waste of time is Twitter over there. So, but
Yeah, I
I have
know
fun
that
with it.
feeling. Because I post again, his links are both on Rumble and YouTube. I do because I do stream to both places, so you can give a look on either end. But yeah, I know the feeling because um I post my stuff for Rumble Squared, and sometimes the stuff sometimes the stuff gets lost unless you tags people to help kind of get it out there. So
Every time I post on Twitter, I'm like, my talents are wasted here.
all the good stuff I have wasted on you people.
No appreciation. I'm not retarded enough to get famous on this site. I scroll, I see what works. I refuse to do it.
Same. Same. Yeah, I do that too. I will say I have used their boost or promote thing where you can pay for it, but it gets expensive after a while. So I only have done it like once or twice. But that was mostly just uh for the Rumble Squared stuff to get that data out there. But for my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. I appreciate you all the same. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, let's just be honest about that, but it also helps in having other people on like Dean from We Are the Show, like Wicca, like Brittany, like so many other people. At the end of the day, I've had on over 250 various guests. Creator or not, doesn't matter. What matters is I do this thing, talking to people about whatever, and you just saw 2 hours of that. So thank you all so much for that. But any help with engagement is much appreciated. Of course, better find my link again. Where was I at? Hold on. Oh, no, 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 a little more. Little there we go. This is my link down below. You can find my Twitter X there. You can find my email there. You can find my uh link to Discord there, but not it's really just for DMing. It's really not for um it's really not for like a server. I don't have enough mental bandwidth. At the end of the day, I have this in my full-time job. And while I'd rather do this more, the full-time job pays the bills. So yeah, you gotta choose between eating and not having a roof over my doing this and not having a roof over my head. So there's that. Um, but yeah, those links are there, especially the Rumble and YouTube one. Those links are there too. So much appreciated. And of course, the last bit is that um I am part of Proton's partner program, and luckily, I've not been given any strictness on requirements, so that's been nice. I've been promoting it my own way, but I've been promoting the Proton Passport, and like we were talking about earlier, this is their password manager. If you want to give it a look, it's there. They have more stuff about like the alias email, the 2FA integrated, a whole assortment of stuff. Proton is very good about the privacy and security, and it gets audited by third parties. But again, um, if you don't want to do anything with it, that's fine. But I'm just trying to promote this benefit. I can make money off it, but that's not why I do this. I'm promoting this benefit because I use it, I believe in it, and I'd rather do that than like we were talking about the ad things earlier, promote of some dog food or coffee, which I don't even drink coffee to begin with anyway. But there you go. There's a link on both ends. Give it a look. If it's worth it to you, great. If not, no skin off my back. I appreciate you all the same. Um, cancel this podcast. Approach is also good because you can throw people off by not being on Gmail. Well, unfortunately, because you're on YouTube, see, this is the thing, right? This is the one thing I think people overlook of YouTube. On YouTube, you have to have a Gmail account. You don't get away with that, right? On Rumble, right? I know there's many complaints on the creator program, many justifiable, but it's optional. On YouTube, you must have a Gmail account. There is no way of getting around it in order to create on YouTube. So there's a difference right there. But yes, I do enjoy using Proton Mail. Um, oh, thank you, Cancel. Much appreciated. Yeah, well, it's 250 plus. I I'm I did I did have to go back and look through and make sure that I got everyone cuz I did have some videos that had to be uploaded on the video section cuz I've gone through on the YouTube end to kind of look and see cuz Rumble's side of stuff isn't that great. and so I've had to use the YouTube end to kind of like look through all the videos I've had. So it is 250 plus. So yeah, it is quite a trip, but I'm grateful for all of them, even if some of them don't speak to me anymore or the few have blocked me. It doesn't matter. It's a library of people you can go and watch and just see our time together, and that's the important part. It's just being able to have this time together to speak about whatever because I'm not the 24/7 news. I'm not all this stuff. I'm just doing this thing I enjoy, and over 250 people have agreed. So there we go. Um, yeah, I figured because of the Google thing. Huh? I mean, I have Gmail, but for anything important, I have to go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, Gmail is pretty much a spam folder in its own right. It is ridiculous of how much spam you get there. It is no, nope. Nope, that's why I have all my stuff go through Proton too. But anyway, tomorrow, and this will start on time tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have on Dingus the Strix, who is a VTuber. He streams on multiple platforms, but mostly I've seen him on the Rumble side. So that will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope people will join me for that. But there is one last thing I do with my guests, and that is questions from a hat. So what happens is I bought this hat from Rumble right here, as you can see. Well, this one has a little thing on the outside, but on the inside of the hat there are questions. And so what that happens is that my guest, you, get 2 freebie questions. Now, if you're on the YouTube side, sorry, I'm not monetized over there, so you cannot give a super chat for whatever. But if you're on the Rumble side, you can give a Rumble rant to have another question pulled out of the hat beyond the 2. And it doesn't matter the amount. It doesn't matter the amount. Sorry, wrong pipe. Doesn't matter the amount. I've had people spam me the 1s, the 2s, all that stuff. Whatever. It just has to be a Rumble rant in order to get more. And of course, we did buy Dean's Raccoon for $2. So, what that means, you get 3 questions. So let's get started with the first one. I'm not even looking in the hat. Okay, here we go. Okay, what's the question? All right, here we go. Here's question number 1. Let's see what it says. Oh man, I tear it up. I hate when that happens. All right, here we go. The question is, oh, this is an easy one. Do you do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
That's actually a pretty rough one. It depends, you know. Is it cold out? Because I prefer the mountains when it's cold out, and the beach when it's warm out. You know, a little bit of both, or the beach in the mountains. I like the lakes around here, and they have sandy beaches by the lakes in the mountains.
Nice.
You could get a little bit. You could get the best of both worlds.
True. That depends on if there's, because I know there is that sort of thing where it happens, but there's a lake within a mountain, but that's not always the case. But yeah, but I'm not much for the cold always, but I do like it when it's not so humid out and dying from the heat. That's a good thing. All right, let's go on to question number 2. My eyes are closed. I'm rushing through the hat. Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh, here we go. Oh, that was I don't know 2. All right, here's question number 2. Let's see what it says. Oh, here we go. What's the most ridiculous way you've ever injured yourself?
Oh, I set my face on fire doing
What?
I was fire breathing, and I grabbed the wrong fuel because I was also videotaping it for a promo, which is great because I have it on film. But I did the blowout,
Mhm.
and I had blown out with the wrong fuel, and it just instantly like exploded in my face. And so then I was trying to put out my flaming face with my flaming hands. It was such a mess. I had like these huge burns all over myself,
Oh,
and my lady ended up running to the store and grabbing a thing called Allocaine. If you
yeah.
ever have really bad burns, use Allocaine. It is truth. It's like a lidocaine aloe mixture.
Mhm.
And so it will numb it so that way you don't feel it. But yeah, it was quite the mess. It was actually quite the mess. And that was one of the very few accidents I've even had performing. I wasn't performing. I was, trying to do a promo video,
Yeah.
and I was trying to do it all on my own and just trying to wear too many hats on that day. Like I was trying to do the performance and be the cameraman and, all of that. And I grabbed the wrong bottle of fuel. I grabbed the fuel that I usually use for fire eating, and I took a big swig, and I knew as soon as I took the swig, this is the wrong fuel.
Oh.
But I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway, and it came right back at me, like, and so that was probably the most embarrassing way that I've ever injured myself. And then I think I put it up on YouTube for the longest time. I don't know if I took it down, but
Wow. That's still rough though. I know there's the oh, there you go. That's the ostrich one. Thank you for that, Neuro. But again, Neuro has given us another Rumble rant. So that's 4 questions now. But let's move on to question number 3. All right. Let's see what question we'll get out of the hat today. All right. Here's question number 3 right here. Let's see what it says. All right. Oh man. Oh, here we go. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
oh man, best piece of advice. People don't give me advice on anything, man. I mean, I just because I'm so naturally great at every. No, I don't know. I said, try not to be so humble, and I was like, oh, I will try my best not to be as humble as I am. But yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
What's a good?
It definitely wasn't stay in school. That bullshit, man. I'm about to sue my guidance counselor over that bullshit.
What's a good piece of advice you would give then?
Oh, give up, some shit just ain't
Wow.
worth it, they say never give up. No, know when to give up.
Yeah.
Is really the thing.
I would think it more like know when to let it go. Know
Yeah.
when
I
to
mean,
let
if things aren't working, you got to change it. You got to change it up.
Yeah.
Don't just constantly try the exact same thing over and over again. If you're trying for something and it's not working, it's probably just something small different that you need to try.
Yeah.
Something to add in that, don't necessarily give up, but maybe give up on doing things exactly the same way.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. Well, that goes for a lot of things too. Like there are a lot of things people hold on to, like grudges and stuff or whatever. Um, and sometimes you just in life you kind of have to know when to let it go, because if you don't let something go and it keeps bringing you down, it keeps dragging you down, and you're really not moving forward or whatever. I mean, there's an understandability, like relationship stuff or whatever. There's stuff with that, but there's an understandability that at a certain point you're gonna have to just let it go and move forward, because no one ever no one ever grows by holding themselves back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was actually a segment I did. This is kind of not related, but it's better advice.
Mm.
The forgive but don't forget. Don't be that person who's just constantly bringing up your old bad relationship or something that your parents, you feel that they slighted you on or something like that. Like, don't hold grudges. Don't keep that, because that shit's just gonna eat at you. It's
Yeah.
going to bring you down, and it's also going to ruin your new relationships with other people. Nobody wants to hear that shit, man. Keep it
Yeah.
positive. and it's just better for you. It's a perfectly selfish thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes perfect sense, because um, burns are plenty in life, but if you just keep holding on to the old ones
Yeah.
and continue to hold on to the new ones, you're no
Yeah, it's just
different.
going to stack, and you're
Yeah,
going to be you're going to make yourself miserable. You're not going to be able to enjoy life properly, and
no,
better life is out there once you let go.
yeah, yeah, and honestly, your time's limited, so why would you waste it on such small things as that?
Yeah. And
There's
there's a more serious answer than the original answer,
Yeah.
because I couldn't think of anything.
No, you're fine. You're
But,
fine. Yeah, no, but it makes sense though. Letting go, I think, is the most proponent thing, is to just let go when things just aren't. moving forward, if that makes sense. Letting go when things aren't moving forward, because look, there are a lot of people out there that don't know when to, and you see them. It's almost like they're punching themselves in the face, and they say, "No, no, one more time. I got this. One more time." And they keep doing it. It's like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And you're just like,
Yeah.
just let it go. But you can't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's how it goes. Last one, unless someone gives a rumble rant. This is a two and one. Do you tip or not? And if so, do you tip more than usual?
Yeah, if I go out to eat, I will tip usually 20% or better. Just I don't go out to eat often, and
Right.
so when I do, I appreciate the wait staff. I've been on the other end of that, or just for tips, you know.
Huh.
So, oh yeah, busking is working just for tips. I mean, you set up and you do like a little bit, or you have. We used to have like the what is it, and it
Mm.
was a sideshow gaff that was in a display case, and it's see the strange thing. Come on in, step inside. Only 50 cents, and you have a whole backstory for it. And people come in, and you're just working for tips, and you're paying for, and you're hoping to make a little bit of money over whatever the booth spot was. I
Mhm.
actually have a really good example of that. I could, if you got a couple more minutes, I got a
Sure.
YouTube video that I filmed back a while ago with a friend of mine where
Sure.
we just went out to Washington. I'll play the one from New York, but we
Mhm.
just went out to Washington Square Park and did this. We've also done it on the boardwalk and different places, but this is a better example because it's Washington Square Park, and
Mhm.
we just did we he was paid for the boardwalk on top of whatever we can make in tips.
Wow.
But I just gotta find the video.
Ooh.
Apologies.
And
Looking. Oh, it's in the next page.
Neuro has given another one, so that's question number 5. But we'll do that after you show the
Here we go.
video.
How is this so hard to find? Another round. I think it might have even been older than that.
Hey, Kate, how are you doing? All right, let me see if I can't. Shuffling all about right there. All right. Lurk. I don't. I know people use the thing Lurk, but I don't have Rumbot. I don't have Rumbot. I don't have Rumble Lab, so those things don't really work here.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
Base Manhattan. Oh, nice. Goodness.
It was great. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect, and then I walked up and expect the unexpected. It was great. I was terrified.
Goodness. Aw.
He looks like a statue, so we didn't think he was real.
Oh, goodness. Goodness. Wow. Aw. Aw. Aw, that's pretty awesome. Oh, she got it. Oh no. That's pretty funny. Goodness. Oh no. Goodness sake. Oh, she didn't even see it. Oh goodness. You're in different areas in New York, I guess.
So
There you go. Uh-oh, hey!
did you have a good time?
Kind of.
Kind of. There you go. Wow. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, we did that. I like 3 videos of it, but that was back with like DV camcorders, and I think we made enough money to pay for the gas and like a pizza at the end of the day. But
Wow.
you know, it's a way to spend a day.
Yeah, that is true. Now, was there ever a time where accidentally you toss it and it broke off? Did that
Oh
ever
no,
happen? Oh, that's
no,
good.
he has a great record of it. But we had some like on the boardwalk, we had people like jump out of their sandals or drop their phone, just like break their phone.
Oh
But
no.
yeah,
Oh, that sucks. But no, that's pretty hilarious. Kind of wakes people up when they're not paying attention. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah. I
Oh,
have
goodness.
it now. I have the whole outfit in the retractable pie. If I ever want to bring it back,
There you
he's
go.
had some. Dan's had some health problems. He doesn't perform anymore, so
Oh, that's
I've
understandable. Well,
inherited a bunch of the older stuff.
there you go. Well, I mean, well, now what year was that?
Oh man,
It looks like it was like early, maybe
I
2010s, possibly.
closed. I closed the thing, so I'm not even sure when I uploaded it. Probably would have been like, let me see.
Probably between
It'll
20,
be in the history. It'll let me know. I
probably
don't know if
be
I have any of those public anymore because the piss
copyright
poor
stuff.
editing I did.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, I
Yeah.
just it's like some of my older stuff. I didn't want it to like.
Yeah, understandable. Well, it looks like something from like between 2010 and 2020 at least. It's not that old looking, but you never know. Some
I'm not.
things.
I'm not sure. It was pretty old because it was. Oh wait, history. There we go. That was. Does it say on the video?
It usually does in the description. Like you can do like more. I know it'll show like what date, like month, year, all that stuff.
Yeah,
If
it's
it's on
got to
YouTube,
be.
it
It's
like
got to
on.
actually be older than it's saying because it said 2015, and I know it was. I know it was way before then.
Well, I was sort of right. It's like in the 2010 era, so it's not bad. It's old,
Yeah.
but it's not
Well,
that bad at all.
2015 is when I uploaded it, but it was probably like 2010, something like that.
And that's how you know you're old, is when you're like, what? When was it? I remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for the last question that was given, thank you, Nero. The question is, if aliens landed and demanded one person to represent Earth, who would you nominate?
Oh man, one person to represent Earth to the aliens.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. All the old action stars are getting up in the years now. We don't have anyone to save the planet left.
True.
Um,
And Arnold kind of screwed himself over with all that freedom thing. So
I say we send Kamala. We see what happens. You know, maybe they don't come in peace. You don't want to send someone too important. Just see what they think. They're going. They're leaving right afterwards. If they did come in peace, at least they're going to leave us in peace.
listen, I am here to help the people so that the people can be helped from you guys. Like I don't know if that's a good way of doing that. Can someone bring someone else? Can we bring someone else over here? Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
remember that.
actually the funny thing is, like, I actually have I didn't know how to get a gift for this, but this is the look I would give for that right here. The Mr. Terrific. That was hilarious. Oh my goodness. There you go. Thank you, that neural. Again, guys, links are on both ends down below in the description. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, chat, for being patient and all that stuff, even when I made a mistake and all that. I appreciate that. And of course, thank you, We Are the Show, for being an
Anytime.
awesome guest and all that stuff. Again, apologies for earlier. But again, like always tell my guests, you're always welcome to come back, because there's always more to talk about. To be honest, this whole wide world is filled with histories of stuff, and there's always more to talk about. Hey, got raid at the end of it all. Got a raid. Thank you, Toasty. But again, tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern with Dingus the Strix. Hope you'll come by with that. It is a VTuber. I've had plenty of VTubers on. I've had plenty of people who don't even show their face on. Again, I've had various creators and non-creators alike on. Raid? No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, Neuro. That's not how it works. It's a Rumble rant. You know the rules. Them's the rules. All right. But anyway, again, as always, I end the show with One Day With You by Pogo. And again, links are down below for both me and my guest. Give the We Are the Show a bit of a look. And if he's worth a follow, why not? Why not? I'm not like one of those people that tell you to go follow this person, because follows don't always equal views. I mean, you can have 500 followers and maybe only get 10 to 15 of those views. So it's kind of one of those things, but I will, uh, show the stuff.
We have
And
a good time. I'm telling you, you should check it out. You should definitely come by.
yeah,
Come Thursday, 7 p.m.
I stopped by once, and I tell you what, they were having a blast in there. Almost felt like they were having a party without the alcohol. So there's there's that. But anyway, One Day With You by Pogo. Um, look forward tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And oh yeah, don't forget to mute yourself while the music video is going, like earlier. So, but anyway, guys, hope to see you all tomorrow by then, and have a great, wonderful rest of your night. Bye, guys.
Good night.